We're back for the second video of the day. And obviously, the third episode just came out for Bleach, and we're gonna be doing the review. We'll get into it. It was good. We'll get into it. So, where we ended last time, I believe we were in the Seirete in the science division with the crazy looking mask guy. I forget his name. But he was all like, we need to do some shit. I don't even remember what he was like, but that happened, and now it's been a week. Also, the fight with the Sternritter, well, he was revealed this week on his name. They're called Sternritters, I guess. That was revealed. And then this guy's like Von Reich or something like that. I'm not exactly sure his name, but he's kind of mental, like all the bad guys in Bleach. And the animation was gorgeous. He had just dispatched of the Ronkars, and they were obviously on the ground, not feeling too great after his attacks. We didn't really get to see the fight, but that did happen. And Ichigo, in the beginning of this episode, shows up on the scene and is ready to kick some ass, which is what he's going to get to doing. And he just isn't taking really the whole shit from the dude, but of course it is Bleach, and things are bleachy as always in Bleach, and he starts monologuing for quite a while, the bad guy, about all his ridiculousness and how he's a Quincy, and how and there's, I guess, a little important part where he does go into, he's like, I know you were Quincy because your arrow shot was similar to Uru's. Of course, he says Ishida in the Chinese version, and he's like, ooh, you know Ishida Ururu? And he's like, yeah, I know Ishida Ururu. And he's like, that's interesting. It shouldn't be that way. That's wrong. And then obviously Ichigo questions that, and I question that too. Just a little disclaimer: I know a little bit of the story. I watched some manga reviews for a while. But I don't. That was like years ago, like right after the show ended, basically. And I stuck to it a little bit, but I don't know how the story ended, and I don't really remember much about it. But anyways, so I don't really know what's gonna happen. Is what I'm trying to get at, and I'm not gonna spoil that for myself again. I want to know what happens as it happens in the show, so I'm not gonna read the manga ahead of schedule. Another interesting thing is, it seems in the manga there was a chapter here, we'll check it out here, that wasn't in the show, or if it was, I don't remember. It might have been in the last episode, but it wasn't in this one, I don't believe. Cool down, the captain's meeting, not gonna end, just realize you Brett, that is the truth. It is, but still, this is a matter of great concern. Calm down. Sorry. Before the meeting ends, one thing is bothering me. Can I ask? Vice Captain Kurar. So, yeah, I don't think this is in the show. It might be. We'll see if it is. But I used all this recent happiness, the invasion by the rebel army, the mass. How is that happy? Oh, happenings. It's hard to read. Happenings. Disappearance of Apollos and the people going missing in Rukunga, which I think is a district in the Serete. I used to think it was all connected. So they're just basically going on about what's going on. There is a scene in the show where they are doing some more investigation. I don't know if this is it, but it definitely doesn't start that way in the show. It starts with their little face-off with Ichigo Kurosaki versus the new Stern Ritter, which is Vindreich or something like that. And so they just go at it for a bit. They're battling, they're fighting it out. The last episode, there was a bunch of assassins that showed up, killed one of the main captain people, and then they disappeared into the darkness. And Yadamoto, I think his name is. I don't even know. The main good guy. Excuse me. Not the main good guy, but the main captain, badass old man dude. He's ready for it, but he wasn't able to get the hit in. And they get away, obviously. So they told him at the end of that there was going to be like a 5-day wait before they come and invade. So get ready. And Yamamoto is basically going on about we're not waiting. Everybody prepare for war. So the Quincy's, they're like the foot soldiers. And then we get another cut to the fight going on. At this point, whatever his name is, I forget his name. Some weird ass name, dude. That guy, the guy with the crazy hat, he decides to, do his little transformation and shows his beautiful powers. Ichigo isn't impressed, calls it ugly. He's like, yeah, I know it's ugly because you're a bad guy and you're gonna think it's ugly and weird looking because I'm an angel, basically. And you're a demon. But he doesn't really say that, but that's the gist of it. And so Ichigo, he's battling it, and at some point it almost looks like he might get overtaken by this guy, but of course he hasn't gone Bankai or anything. And then the 3 ones that were dispatched at the end of the episode show up, ready to do battle. And they seem to save Ichigo's life. Obviously, that probably, if he did shoot the blast at Ichigo, I think Ichigo would have been probably fine. But nonetheless, those 3 do step in to save Ichigo, and they do stop him by cutting off their 3 arms. They are. They are just, trying to figure out everything that's going on, getting ready to fight, and as they're, walking around, Yuha Bak is overhead. Nobody really seems to notice him, but he's, standing way up high, and he opens a few portals, or he shoots Ryatsu down, and through the Ryatsu comes some pretty badass looking Quincy's, to be honest. And little side note, Uryu, which is the Quincy, from this point in his life, he thought he was the last Quincy because all the Quincy's were killed off at some point, but he's just finding out that there's still a cell of Quincy's out there, and they allude to something about his mother maybe being a part of it, and he runs off, storming off, being pretty upset about the knowledge he's just gained. Tennant, he's been in the show I think for a while. I'm not sure if it's the same guy I'm thinking of, but he seems to get killed off at the very end here. And then somebody else who's I'm pretty sure hasn't had any speaking lines, but gets their head blown off as well. That guy right there. I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely been in the show a lot, I swear to God. And he just gets completely annihilated. And that was crazy to see that happen. But it was pretty short. There wasn't a lot to get really into with the episode, but it was certainly a good episode. I would say there was some animation that seemed a little bit, I don't know, not rushed really, but it seemed not as well done as some of the other animation in the episode. I don't know if there was a budget cut or if it just was how they decided to portray that part of the animation. That felt a little interesting. That was the part where they were fighting and he just kept, you know, doing his, trying to attack Ichigo, and it just kept showing the same rapid attack over and over again as they're monologuing, which, you know, is not my favorite thing to see. It's definitely something that has been part of Bleach, I think, forever. What just happened? But it's, you know, it's it was still, you know, overall a good episode, even with that. There was Nell in it. There was not really much comedic relief at all. Things seem to be moving really fast, but that whole arc does move fast. I just remember it moving pretty fast. And that's his name, Quincy Volstanding. I don't know. But yeah, he's a crazy mold. He's a crazy man. He's crazy. He's got something going on in the brain. And so yeah, the animation, I would say, was like, you know, a 7 out of 10 this episode. There's definitely some good parts, but I think there was not as good parts as some of the first couple episodes. The story was short-lived, it felt like, on this episode. There was a lot of, you know, getting geared up for all the fights. It felt like, kind of, you know, we're gearing up. And I guess overall, this episode definitely didn't hit as hard as the first two. I'm still really excited to see more and what is to come. And they did seem to miss some scenes or some of the anime, but again, the animation is going to be, I believe, a few episodes shorter than the actual manga. So there's no surprise there that there's going to be some things that aren't matching up exactly. But the story overall for me on this episode was also a 7 out of 10, even could slip down to a 6. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't overly like, whoa, you know. I was more excited today to do the live trial than this reaction, which, I mean, I was still excited to watch, and it was still a great episode. It's just, you know, in comparison to the last couple episodes, it definitely wasn't as amazing, I would say, but definitely more to come, and I'm really excited for next week, obviously, and to see what's to come with Ichigo and Uru, with him and his dad or his mom, maybe knowing Yuha Bach. And Yuha Bach, in the book, he had this book, he found a book that had all this information in it, by the way, and I think they called him, I forget what it said, the higher man, I don't know, it said something weird, like some holy, like he's holy or something, but I don't know what Iruru's gonna do, if he's gonna, you know, do some double crossing and fight for the Quincy's, or if he's gonna fight against the Quincy's, or if he's gonna start with the Quincy's then turn over. I forget, I don't even remember what happens. And then they're killing off a lot of characters. That is the last season of Bleach, so killing off characters is probably gonna be quite a theme throughout the whole season. But if it gets popular enough, they might do some more with it. That'd be really cool. And then again, they might not, and they probably won't, because I don't think there's been any other manga since the last chapter, and I haven't heard any news about there being any more. And I know his health wasn't doing too well for a while. with the manga drawing and everything. That takes a lot out of you if you're doing that day in and day out, sitting drawing. So yeah, but either way, next week we'll be back again with the next episode and the reaction to that, and you can always check out the actual Bleach manga or Bleach anime when it comes out on Disney Plus or any other service that might have it. I don't know exactly where else has it. Or check out the mangas. I don't think this is the original manga on the right. I think it's an adaptation of the actual original. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that I'm correct on that. I'm not sure. Anyways, so yeah, that is really all there's. It's not a big one today. Obviously, didn't really have much to touch on this one. Just that, you know, it's. I guess the overall cut I'm gonna have to say is the Bleach anime isn't as strong as I thought it would be, but it's still good and still strong. But it's only been 3 episodes. It's kind of like when you get into sports or like the season of a sport, you feel like, oh, this team's not going to do very well in a season, but it's only been the first few games. It's kind of like that feeling at this point. So still waiting to see what's to come, and y'all can stay tuned here at Kurz. And thanks to KUBO and the TV Tokyo for producing the animation. It's beautiful and I love it, and I hope that we get more soon, and obviously it will be next week, so stay tuned. I don't know where I'm going. And if you enjoyed this, please put a like on there, subscribe, support your guy. We'll be coming back probably today with another video for Warzone. No, for Call of Duty campaign. I am stuck on that mission. I'm gonna try it out with my way, and then if I die a few times, which is guaranteed, then we'll just do the mission how they want me to. So yeah, this has been a great time explaining everything that's happened. I'm excited. Hope you're excited too. Have a wonderful rest of your day.